Yo, what's up? Let's see what we get into tonight. I'm probably not going to stay on a long time. I'm cold and I'm tired. What a way to start the stream. What a way to start the stream. I'm sure starting it off like that is going to make people want to stick around for the whole thing. Let me pull up the chat really quick. See if anybody actually joins. I mean, it's really not that. It's not as late as I thought it was going to be. Right? It's what? 8:52. Still well within reason. Yo, Daffy, thank you for joining the stream, bro. How you doing, man? How's your Saturday? Jerry, thank you for joining the stream, bro. How you doing as well? Let me pull up the chat really quick. I just got back from Bailey's house. It is cold out there, guys. I'm talking about 30-something degrees in Florida. It's 40 degrees, but with the breeze, it feels like it's 20. Not fun. I'm extremely tired. I didn't get to take a nap tonight. You know, I didn't get to do the unk nap. No unk nap for me. I did drop that video about Jeffrey Epstein. Did you guys watch that? Yo, job application. Thank you for joining the stream, bro. How you doing, man? What do you guys think about the Jeffrey Epstein video? On a night like tonight, we might have to do at least a few reactions to get this shit going. But not yet. I'm just going to chill for a second. He says, what do you think about the video, Daffy? Was it good or was it whack? Sure. He says, was a good video. I have Epstein fatigue. I don't have Epstein fatigue per se, but I just don't care that much about it. The only reason I talked about it is because the new leaks are pretty crazy. I mean, you gotta say it's pretty crazy. Bill Gates is getting fucked. And the sad thing is I like Bill. I like Bill. I've said it a bunch of times. But I didn't know Bill was a freak like that. I didn't know Bill was hitting it from the back. Raw. Bill was raw dogging it, bro. He should change the name of the company from Microsoft to Micro Hard. Damn, bro. Homie was breaking into those bits and bytes, bro. He was hacking into that shit, chat. No cap. Bill Gates. Damn, more like Pussy Gates. Yo, Peso, thank you for joining the stream, bro. How you doing, man? He says Micro Hard is wild. That's fine. Yo, Peso, thank you for joining, bro. How you doing, man? No, but seriously, I didn't know Bill was getting down like that, bro. Bill Gates was a freak, bro. That nigga was a freak, dude. Homie was opening up windows, doors, everything. He says W. Asman. Asman, wait, why W. Asman? Why W. Asman? I'm tired, guys. I'm just chilling. I jumped on because I was like, I promised you guys I would do something tonight, but I wasn't really gonna. I'm a man of my word, man. That's what you guys gotta realize. Scott Leonard is a man of his word. If I say I'm gonna jump on, I'm gonna jump on. He says, better question. Yeah, I'll get a peppermint, baby. It's fine. Better question. Yeah, Stephen Hawkins, bro. It's fine, yeah. Stephen Hawkins was getting down, Daffy. Homie was faking being a paraplegic, bro. Homie was paraplegic, but when it came to the pussy, he wasn't. Damn. Homie's like, yo, I'm trying to find the fucking access point to your internal systems. No cap. Even though I don't think that everybody that was going to the island was doing sex shit. If I'm keeping it honest with you, man. I'm waiting. If I was one of the real fucking nerds, Daffy, if I was one of these fucking Epstein freaks, I would download the Epstein files and start reading through them if I was a real freak. But I don't got time for that, man. I'm not that obsessed with this shit. Like, I don't care. You know why I don't care? I'm going to tell you why I don't care, chat. The reason I don't care is because we already know the world is full of fucked up people in power. I don't need to read the Epstein files to know that. Like, come on, bruh. You think they're pretending, Daffy, or you think they... I honestly don't know, bro, because some people are weird. I've never been one of these weird people that gets obsessed about other people. But some people are weird, bro. Like, they be, like, making that shit their whole life. They be downloading millions of files, reading them, spending their whole freaking weekend studying the Epstein files. I promise you... Thank you, baby. I promise you right now there's some weirdo on Reddit reading through millions and millions of documents. I promise you. I promise you. The same thing with the David situation. The same thing with all of the stuff we watch here, chat. All of the stuff that you guys see me react to and talk about. There's people that are like deep into the weeds, obsessed, where it's their whole fucking life. And I think that maybe this is my problem though, right? This might be my problem. My problem might be that I am not one of those people. So it's hard for me to gain an audience because my audience is spread between a bunch of different topics. So instead of me getting 500 people that all care about one topic, I'm getting 10 people that care about this topic, 10 people that care about another topic, 10 people that care about this, 10 people. And then the problem is when I go live, the people are like, yo, okay, is he talking about the situation that I care about? Nope. Okay, I'm not going to watch. And the only way I'm going to get out of this situation is if I can grow all of those different topics I talk about, or I can just get people to get invested in the community. And I guess I'm going the community route. He says, what happened to the David guy, by the way? I don't know, Daffy. I don't know. You know, every single topic that I've covered since you've been on my stream could be a whole niche in itself. Like, I could make this channel all about Venezuela and Trump taking over Venezuela. I can make this channel all about Greenland. I can make this channel all about Israel and Iran and the Middle East and international affairs. I can make this whole channel about David. I can make this whole channel about Epstein. I can make the whole channel about Sneeko. The whole channel about Kai. The whole channel about Hassan. The whole channel about Fuzi. Like, imagine if I went down that route. He says over under on Iran war. Over, dude. 100%. You already saw the official FBI report saying that Trump is compromised. Literally. They said Trump is a Israeli asset at this point.
In front of that door.
Pulling this up right now for you guys really quick here. MSN. Fresh Epstein files allege Trump was compromised by Israel, FBI document says. Fresh controversy has erupted following the release of the new tranche of documents linked to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, with an FBI report citing explosive claims made by a confidential source about the former U.S. President Donald Trump and his inner circle. The allegations, unproven and contested, have intensified scrutiny of past financial dealings and political relationships at the highest levels of power. FBI sources level claims against Trump. According to the FBI report, the confidential source alleges that Donald Trump has been compromised by Israel, a claim presented as the source's assessment rather than an established finding. The document does not state that investigators verified the assertion, but records it as part of a broader intelligence reporting connecting the Epstein case files reported in India today. So it's like, come on, dude. Of course we're going to go to war with Iran. Israel's been chopping at the bit to go to war with Iran, bro. He says, make the channel about Burger Planet. Fuck Burger Planet. Yo, Timothy, thank you for joining the stream, bro. How are you doing in Alaska, bro? If it's cold here in Florida, how cold is it in Alaska? This nigga's ice fishing. This nigga has a snowmobile. Do you got the pack dogs too, Timothy? Yo, Timothy be doing some Alaskan shit, bro. This nigga lives in an igloo. This nigga has a dog sled. That's crazy. Because it's cold as fuck here, so I don't know how cold it should be in Alaska. All I can say is that if it's cold here, it must be freezing there. He says, Lamau, I'm an Alaskan. He says, it's 35 with gusts of winds 45 miles per hour. Yeah, in Florida right now, it was 40 with... It says that it feels like 21 with the winds. He says, what is negative 35 in C? I don't know. It's probably cold as fuck. That'd be... in Celsius, it's death. Huh? Yeah. Let's see. It's 1.6 degrees Celsius, Daffy. 1.6. In other words, you're fucked. That's fucking horrible. Yo, Timothy, are there niggas in Alaska? I've always wondered that, bro. He says 1.6 isn't cold, bro. 1.6 isn't cold. Okay, buddy. I mean, you're in Germany. I don't know how cold it gets in Germany. Probably gets cold as fuck there, too. He says the ice was crackling there. Was water. Nah, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't fuck with it, bro. I'm sorry. You're not going to catch me up there. Yo, Royalty, thank you for joining the stream. What you say? No, we're never going to go to Alaska. I'm never stepping foot in that state. You won't catch me dead. Bailey thinks I'm going to go to Alaska someday. Okay, bet. He says, come to DR. Oh, I'll go to DR. My brother went to DR, Royalty. He was on some degenerate shit, bro. My brother went to DR and he was on some degenerate shit, man. Not me. You guys know I'm a Christian boy. I'm a Christian boy, chat. I'm not going to no country to try and get hoes. Niggas be paying for the pussy. That's crazy. He says in DR it's 84. Damn, bro. That's lit. DR has some good beaches too, right? I'm assuming. I mean, it's the Caribbean. Of course, they have good beaches. He says, Scott, look at Alaskan pikefish. We're catching those. Let me see that shit. Is it the white sand that has the splinters, Royalty, or is it the white sand that doesn't have the splinters? Damn, that fish is pretty big. Northern pike. Does that shit taste good? Yo, these niggas are ice fishing, bro. What the fuck? They get that big? No, that's crazy, bro. What the fuck? Ain't no way they get that big. They get that big? Okay, I'll pass on that one, buddy. I'll pass on that one, Timothy. That fish might gobble me up whole. I'll pass on that. Is that good eating, though? Is it bony or is it good eating? Royalty says splinters. What do you mean? There's some beaches that have the white sand, and the white sand has like splinters in it because the sand is so fine, it becomes like splinters, and then that shit gets in your feet, and it's really annoying. If you don't know what it is, it means it's not. If you would know what it is if they had it. It's really annoying. In Panama, there's a beach that the water is crystal clear, but it has the sand, and the sand has splinters. Like the sand itself becomes splinters in your feet. I hate that shit. It was very uncomfortable. He says, it bites your fingers. He says, W arroz con leche. I'm gonna give him a different kind of leche, bro. If I go to DR. Then Bailey had some crazy ass dream. He says, pause. Billy had some crazy ass dream and she was big mad at me when she woke up because of a dream, chat. How do you get mad at a nigga because of a dream? She said, I had a dream that you did this and this and this. Big mad. Yo, I ain't ever gonna understand females, chat. I ain't ever gonna understand them females. The females. He says, those fish, Scott, also bark at you when you pull them out. What the fuck? What kind of fish? In Alaska, it sounds like they're built different, bro. No, thank you, Timothy. He says, I mean, I haven't noticed. No, Royalty, you would have noticed, bro. It means that they don't have it. They don't have it. You would have noticed. Believe me, you would know what I'm talking about if they had it. It's annoying as fuck, bro. It's annoying when the water is so clear, everything is beautiful, and then every few seconds, you feel splinters getting in your feet. And you need to get out of the water and take the splinters out of your feet and shit. It's so annoying, bro. Yes, Daffy. Yo, Daffy knows them all, bro. Yo, Daffy knows them all. Yes, Daffy. That was the exact dream. And I told her, well, you better lock in. You better lock in before your dreams come true. Straight up. I said, Scott, you need to come to Alaska, my guy. Lamau. No. Timothy, do you see the complexion of my skin? I ain't going to no damn Alaska. I ain't going to no damn Alaska, nigga. I hate the cold, bro. I hate the fucking cold. That shit. I ain't got time for that shit, bro. Digging around in the ice and shit. Ice fishing stream. Fuck that. Fuck that noise. He says, is mentally cheating is real cheating? No, Royalty. Every man has the urge to fuck bitches, bro. That's not cheating. Cheating is if you go out and act on that fucking feeling. Every man has that feeling, bro. If you don't have that feeling of going out and wanting to fuck bitches, then you're not a man. It doesn't matter how in love you are, bro. You're always going to have that feeling. That's your biological imperative, is to fuck bitches. The problem is that a lot of men try to hide it, right? A lot of men try to fake it, hide it, hack it. Oh, baby, I don't even have eyes for no one. Like, shut the fuck up, nigga. That's so much cap. Levels of cap. Levels of cap. And then those are the guys that go out with their girl and they look at a girl and their girl gets mad. Oh my God, you just looked at that girl's ass. Are you checking her out? It's like, buddy, you fucked up because you should have been honest from the get-go and been like, yo, hey, babe. I mean, you're my only girl, but I gotta look. You know? What's Bailey said we look together. What is the saying? Look but don't touch. Come on, chat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I've said this a bunch of times though, bro. There's so many guys that pretend to be somebody else when they meet a girl. If you meet a girl and you pretend to be Mr. Nice Guy and you pretend to be somebody who you're not gonna, that relationship's not gonna work out. You gotta stand 10 toes, bro, from the get-go. You can ask Bailey, you can ask any person I've talked to in the past, you can ask my brother. Whenever I met girls in the past when I was single, I stood 10 toes from the beginning. I wasn't pretending to be something I'm not. I wasn't trying to pretend to be Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Saint over here. There are so many times, and I was telling my brother this yesterday, and I don't know if any of you guys have done this in the past, but there are so many times where I met a bad bitch at the club or out on the streets, and I straight up told her, like, yo, you want to fuck? Right off the bat. Right off the bat, chat. You'd be surprised how much that works, by the way. That's the thing that a lot of guys don't understand. When you see some girl and she's hot, if you approach her directly, you'll be surprised how many times that works. It does work, because I've done it. It does work. It does work. It does. I mean, it worked for me. That's all that matters. He said, shush, shush, shush. He says, gotta find a girl who looks at other girls too. Daffy, for real, bro. And I also don't understand the guys who get in a relationship with a girl that looks at other girls and they get jealous. Like, nigga, are you stupid? If you got a girl and your girl's into other girls, you hit the jackpot, nigga. The fuck you doing over here crying about it? Oh man, my girl's talking to another girl. She's cheating on me. You're out of your mind, dude. You're out of your goddamn mind if you're gonna start crying over that shit. You're gay. I'm sorry. You're gay. If I were in a relationship and my girl was a girl that was into girls, and I came home early from work one day and I found her in the bed with the other girl, getting freaky, I'm not gonna start crying about it. Are you stupid? I'm gonna get butt naked and lock the door. I'm not gonna cry about it. You got these niggas crying about it, bro. Oh, bro, my girl, dude, she did this to me. Like, nigga, you're gay. You're gay, dude. Come on, man. Stupid as fuck. Timothy says, I've never met a girl yet. I'm working on my own thing right now. Yo, Timothy, I don't remember. How old are you? But then again, you live in Alaska, my nigga. Are there even girls in Alaska? I don't know. Are there? So you claim. Bailey says she's from Alaska. Nah, there ain't no girls in Alaska. He says, that's only cheating if she doesn't let you watch, Lamau. He says, Scott isn't weird sleeping with a woman and then dating another woman. Oh my God. He says, I'm 18. Yes, lots of girls. Are there really girls up there? I don't know why, bro, but when I imagine Alaska, I just imagine emptiness. Does that place even exist? Low key, though, I might be mentally ill, chat, because I be thinking like, yo, nothing exists. When I'm in my house, I be telling myself nothing exists. Outside of this room, there ain't nothing. It's just me. Everything else is part of the simulation. So I don't know, bro. Y'all niggas in the chat, I hate to say it, don't take this as an offense, but when y'all be writing in the chat, I be looking at the chat thinking like, okay, these niggas aren't even real people. I'm sorry, guys. He says, how was it to touch grass, by the way? I hated it, Daffy. I got an allergy to grass. First of all, it's cold as fuck and it's windy. I was big mad. I'm not gonna lie. I was big mad. I almost crashed out on Bailey because she made us stay out mad late and then it was mad windy and mad cold. You know I don't like the cold. Do I look like the kind of nigga who wants to be running around in the cold outside in the dark? Dabbling in the dark on a cold, wet, snowy day? Even though it's not snowing, but you know what I mean. Oh my God, now she's capping. That's cap, by the way. She was freezing and she was shivering in fear. Acting like she was fucking not. And then poor little Octavia. Poor little Octavia had to go through that. Newborn baby having to deal with the frigid wildness of the untamed expanse. Come on, dude. You don't want to deal with that shit. Yo, Amit, thank you for joining the stream. He says, Scott's just a puss. Nah, I ain't no puss. That shit was diabolical out there, bro. I don't like that type of shit, man. I could have been home in my bed cozy right now, sleeping. Sleeping like a demon. I could have slept all day, put my fucking sleep reps in. I haven't had a siesta in like 3 days, bro. He says, a god is scared of freezing a little. Oh my goodness. He says, yeah, it's cold as fuck, bro. Y'all think they're playing Ahmed? Come on, dude. It's cold as fuck here right now. He says, there's a lot of girls in Alaska named Bailey. Damn, baby. They say you're one of the clones. That's crazy. Nah, but you ain't gonna catch me in Alaska, bro. You're not gonna catch me in any of the fucking northern states. Fuck Alaska. Fuck anything above. Shit. Fuck everything above Florida, bro. I ain't going to no goddamn states. I went to Pittsburgh. I hated that shit. That shit was disgusting, bro. Cold, dark, wet. You can't even see the goddamn sun. The only states that count in my book are Florida, California. You know what? I'll throw New York in there because of New York City. That's it, bro. There's like America's like 4 cities. Maybe 5. Miami, LA, New York, Chicago, Atlanta. There's a handful of cities that matter. Most of the cities here are ass, bro. And some of those cities up north are weird too, right? You go to those cities, there ain't nobody in the streets. You go to fucking, let me think here. You go to fucking Kansas City. There's buildings and shit, but there ain't no people. Fuck going on in them weird ass cities. He says California is a disease full of airheads. You know, Royalty, you're kind of right. I like the aesthetics of California. I like the lore. But to be honest, California fell off. California fell off. And also the people that are in California are weird, bro. Even the streamers, right? I don't know if you saw the last More Pegasus video where he was talking about Cutie Cinderella, Ludwig, and all of these guys kissing people on the mouths and having open relationships and all this weird shit. Niggas in California are just degenerate, bro. They're just degenerate. The culture in California is toxic. Those California streamers, you know what the problem is? They don't want to be streamers. They want to be celebrities. That's what the problem is. The problem is that those California streamers are not trying to do what normal streamers are doing. They're trying to be Hollywood. They literally want to be celebrities. They act like celebrities. They copy celebrity culture. They pretend like they're celebrities. They're doing a bunch of weird, freaky shit. Nigga said, yo, they didn't invite me to the Diddy party. Okay, I'll have my own Diddy party. That's weird, bro. Guys kissing guys is definitely a Cali thing. Bro, Royalty, and make it make sense, dude. Make it make sense. In the clip, they had what? Ludwig kissing dudes. They had Cutie Cinderella kissing girls. They had Hassan kissing dudes. Then I saw a clip of Cutie Cinderella. No, it wasn't. It was Valkyrie. I saw a clip of Valkyrie flirting with Austin. That shit was awkward. That was awkward as fuck. These guys are weirdos, bro. They're weirdos, bro. They're ruining the scene, dude. They're ruining the scene. They're contaminating the entire scene with their bullshit. And when you really think about it, Royalty, chat, where are the streamer awards held? Who's holding them? That's all I need to say. Think about that for a second. Put 2 and 2 together. Put 2 and 2 together. Who organizes the streamer awards? These niggas are just trying to copy Hollywood, bro. Copy paste. It's a copy paste. Cutie Cinderella. Cutie Cinderella is dying to be a celebrity, bro. She really thinks she is. Yeah. Cutie Cinderella. That's what they, Royalty, because you know what they want to do? The problem with the LA streamers is that they want to pull all the streamers into that LA bubble. That's what they want. If they could have their way, that's what they would have. If they could have their way, they would pull all the streamers from across the country into LA. Because they just want to make a new Hollywood. He says, what the fuck is a Cutie Cinderella? You don't want to know, Timothy. You genuinely don't want to know. Even though, you know what? Cutie Cinderella is not ugly. I have to say it. I have, yo, I'm sorry. I have to say it. Cutie Cinderella's not ugly. She's just ordinary. But you know what the problem with Cutie Cinderella is? The problem with Cutie Cinderella is she doesn't groom. She doesn't groom. her hair is unkept. She looks like shit half the time. But the times that I've seen her put on makeup and brush her hair, she actually was a pretty attractive woman. Yeah, she doesn't take care of herself, bro. She's living haggardly, dude. She's living haggardly, bro. Out of all the female streamers, I'm trying to think which ones are the prettiest ones. The problem is that female streamers just don't hit. Think about it, guys. How many female streamers can you name off the cuff that you would watch on a daily basis? Female streamers don't hit. They have no life experience. They have nothing to talk about. They're boring as hell. They're not funny. They just don't hit, bro. I mean, shit. I'm thinking right now, what female streamer would I watch? Maybe, fuck, bro. Maybe the really degenerate ones, like the fucking Zoe Plants or Nina Lynn. Because, I mean, Nina Lynn and Zoe Plant aren't, they're so chaotic that they're not as boring as the traditional female streamer. The traditional female streamer just sits there and looks pretty and talks about vacuous nonsense. Like the Sam Frank type of streamer, right? The ones that are just sitting there doing nothing. Valkyrie, Pokemon. What does Pokemon talk about? He says Zoe the Dick Eater. Zoe Plant. Glazer. Zoe Plant, bro. Jesus. You know what's crazy, royalty? Think about how many different topics and how many different streamers I've talked about since I started streaming, bro. It's crazy how the topics come and go. The topics come and go, chat. Who's talking about Venezuela anymore? Nobody. Who's talking about Greenland? Nobody. Who's talking about the Kai Cenat drama? Nobody. Who's talking about NATO? Nobody. Who's talking about fucking Israel, Palestine? Nobody. Who's talking about Ukraine, Russia? Nobody. Like, all of the things that we talk about, they just come and go so fast. It makes me wonder, like, why even cover the shit? That's why you can't beef with Solo Illuminati, royalty. There's a few content creators that you cannot beef with. You cannot afford to beef with them. You can't beef with Solo Illuminati. You can't beef with Moist Critical. You can't beef with, let me think who else. Who are the content creators that they can just fuck you up badly? Once they fuck you up, you're done. Moist Critical, Solo Illuminati. Who else? Who else is Danger Zone? He says Zach is up there. Zach, Asmongold. I don't know, because Hassan has been beefing with Asmongold for a while and he hasn't destroyed him. If Asmongold was that powerful, I feel like Asmongold would be able to kill Hassan's career off the bat. He says Candace Owens. Nah, Candace Owens is gonna psycho rant on you, bro. Candace Owens is gonna psycho rant on you. He says, Scott, yo, I want to get to that level, Timothy. The problem is that I've tamed myself too much. I'm domesticated, bro. Scott has been domesticated. I want to get back to how I used to be when I was like younger. When I was like in my early 20s, a teenager, when I used to be really mean to people and just say whatever. Royalty, exactly. Bro, Royalty hit it on the nail on that one. Asmongold needs Hassan and Hassan needs Asmongold, bro. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they were actually friends behind the scene. I mean, but I don't want to give Hassan any credit because I don't know. I don't think Hassan is smart enough to do that. But if I was Hassan, I would tell Asmongold, keep on going, bro. And I'll keep talking about you because it creates a feedback loop. Hassan's audience finds out about Asmongold, and Asmongold's audience finds out about Hassan. And they both grow. They both grow. That's the best kind of drama. A drama that can be sustained for months and months and months and months. Oh, Royalty, bro. To be honest, it's embarrassing, dude. It's embarrassing, bro. Hassan is in Asmongold's chat sending him messages and shit. That's crazy. Because I don't think Asmongold goes into Hassan's chat, does he? Asmongold might pull up a Hassan clip, but I don't think Asmongold goes into Hassan's actual stream to try and get his attention. But Hassan is over here begging for clout. Asmongold debate me. 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 Asmongold every single day. This nigga dreams of Asmongold, bro. He's having wet dreams, chat. This nigga's tossing and turning, fucking gooning to Asmongold at this point. Big mad. Big mad, dude. And I don't understand why he cares so much. That's I'm not gonna lie, royalty. I see a lot of myself in Hassan. Pause. Because I feel like I have that kind of personality as well. Like, he shouldn't care, but he does care. Just like when I get trolls, I shouldn't care, but I do care. It's like I can't resist. I can't not take the bait. Every time I see the trolls, I gotta take the bait. I don't know why. It's just ingrained in my nature. Timothy says he doesn't like big streamers. I mean, to be honest, sometimes the big streamers be boring, bro. Scott Anabi is crazy, dude. The big streamers be boring. That's why I told you guys that from now on, I'm not going to be covering big streamers unless it's breaking news. If it's not breaking news, I'm not going to cover it because it's like, what's the point? I don't find it fulfilling. My streams are ass. At this point, I think I got to the level where I don't need to watch content to have a fucking stream. I can just do what I'm doing right now in Rift and talk about random shit. And maybe we can put up a clip or two that's relevant to the conversation, but I don't need to be dick riding fucking content creators anymore and dick riding content because it's just, it gets old, bro. It gets old. It gets so fucking old. It's so exhausting and it's not fulfilling. And I notice when I do that, my streams come out horrible. At this point, we're on a different level now, chat. I've gone to phase 5. We're at phase 5 already, dude. And my content creation strategy, we're on phase 5. He says, Scott only D-rides Scott. I mean, shit, low key, Daffy. I'm doing the loop-de-loop, bro. Damn. Is that gay? Serious question, chat. Somebody asked this before. If you could grab your own schlong. I'm joking, dude. I'm joking. That's hella sus. He says, that's like sucking your own cock. That's what I was going to say. Actually, I was going to say something worse than that, Roti. But no, I feel like at this point, I've gotten to the point in my streaming career where I do better just talking to the people and just riffing than fucking reacting to content. And some people don't like that, right? I know a few people in the chat want me to react to content. They want me to react to the bigger streamers and shit. But I feel like it just ain't me anymore, man. I got past that point. I got that. What I need to do now and what I'm going to start doing is I watch the content in my free time and then I talk about what I saw. And then if it's something really critical, like tonight, I want to talk about Eddie, the CEO of Kick. I don't know if you guys saw what Kick, the CEO of Kick came out and said, but he said some stupid shit. And we're going to talk about it and then we're going to watch a short 3-minute clip about it. But I really don't want to fucking go and watch like other streamers and talk about that shit. It's just not me. He says streaming's become stale as fuck. I mean, it probably always was stale, royalty. I mean, there's nuance in it, but for the most part, I just think that at this point, I feel like we have enough people that we can just do our own thing. Like what we're doing right now, man. Just having a conversation with the chat. The only thing is we need to pick good topics to talk about so we can get clips so we can attract new people into the fucking stream. But other than that, I think that I'm past that point where I'm going to be like reacting to, oh, Aiden Ross did this or Kai Cenat did that or this scenario or that scenario. It's just not, it's just played out. It's played out. It's played out. Nah, Daffy, if you blow yourself, that's gay, bro. That's, you know, somebody said this before to me. They said, oh, bro, if you could suck your own dick, would you do it? I'm like, that's gay as fuck, bro. The moment you have a dick in your mouth, whether it's your own dick or not, it's gay. It's gay. I want to go to the grave knowing that no part of my body ever had a dick in it, bro. Once you do it, there's no turning back, chat. That's the other thing. Niggas, they be talking about experimenting. Nah, nigga. Life ain't no experiment. Don't come with that I'm experimenting bullshit. Once you do that shit, there's no turning back. There's no turning back. Niggas be like, oh no, bro, I'm actually straight. I was just experimenting. Oh, okay, nigga. Sure, bet. Okay, buddy.
Okay.
Okay, dude.
Help me.
Gay as fuck. Nigga said he was experimenting. That's like the bitches that be like, oh, I'm a virgin. Like, if they don't come, then it doesn't count. Like, what the fuck kind of logic is that? The King's Lounge, thank you for joining the stream. Rob Roberts, thank you for joining the stream. He says, how is that gay? How is it not gay, Rob? How is it not gay? I ain't experimenting at all, bro. I'm not curious and I ain't experimenting, my nigga. I'm not curious and I'm not experimenting. Niggas be coping, talking about, oh, I experimented when I was in college. Get the fuck out of here with that experimentation shit. Niggas got their fucking asshole stretched. Niggas got their assholes stretched talking about I was just experimenting. I'm straight. If you had the urge to experiment, by definition, you're not straight, bro. Come on, dude. That's a mega cope. He says, Rob sounds like he already did it. That's a mega cope, dude. He says, Scott, the type of guy to say no homo after claiming it's not gay. I know, right? Those niggas that are like, they spit it out. Hey, no homo, no homo. I was just experimenting. The fuck out of here with that shit, my boy. He says, that sounds really sus. It is sus, the king. It is sus. I always said it, bro. I'm gonna go to the grave knowing that I never fucking crossed that line. That's crazy, dude. Niggas be crossing all kinds of lines and they want to act like that shit never happened. He says, Scott definitely took some back shots in his life. Nah, the only back shot I ever took was the one time in my bathtub. It was an auto back shot. Don't ever try to goon in a fucking bathtub, chat. Big mistake. Big mistake. Daffy says, what? He says, you got niggas cross-dressing in Atlanta. Yeah, those Atlanta niggas be on some weird shit. He says, Scott in some type of denial or trauma. No, Daffy says, explain. Okay, Daffy, when you get a chance, fill a bathtub up with water and then goon in the bathtub and you'll see what I mean. And make sure that whatever your body expels gets expelled into the water. And then you'll see what I mean. That's the only back shot I ever had, bro. An auto back shot. That was accidental. Accidental. That doesn't count. Yo, I be telling y'all niggas too much shit, bro. He says, oh, hell no. I be telling you. TMI. Don't clip that, chat. Don't clip that. He says, my cousin used to get himself neck as a kid. That's crazy. That's wild, royalty. This nigga gave himself neck. That's crazy, bro. He says, did you have the candles lit? Daffy, how'd you know? Dragonite, thank you for joining the stream. He says, what's up, dog? He says, what the fuck? You want some sexcapade shit? I'm just telling them how to do an auto back shot. He says, story time is crazy. He says, bro busted in his own bathwater. Big mistake, Daffy. I didn't know that shit, when you put it in the water, it turns into like glue. Let's not talk about this tonight, chat. Let's not talk about this, guys. We're going down the wrong path. This stream is going in the wrong direction. The stream is going in the wrong direction, chat. Oh my God. Homie says, Scott went to the arcade, sat on the joystick, and beat an entire game with his ass once. Oh, David Fish, that's crazy, dude. My shit is one way, dude. I ain't ever done that shit. He says, from the dude who don't goon, sure, talks about it 24/7. I don't, Rob. I haven't gooned yet, bro. He says, even gay dudes haven't ejected into themselves. Oh my God. Ejected or ejaculated? Yo, let me not that. Hey, using the scientific terms is so cringe. It gave me shivers when I said that shit. Shiver my timbers. He says, how old were you when that happened? That was like last week, Daffy. No cap. That was like a month ago. 3 months ago? 4 months ago? He says, hey, fucking yo. 4 months ago. He says, Scott, why share this? I don't know, Timothy. I share too much. Pause. He says, Unc, have you ever been to a glory hole? No, I've never. I mean, I've seen a glory hole. I've never used it. If that's a valid question. Using the glory hole is crazy, bro. He says, Scott has a beer in his eye. He feeling loose. Nah, I didn't drink any beer. He says, stop sharing. He says, call center flashbacks. Oh, Rob, why you gotta go there, bro? Why you gotta go there? He says, Scott, are you gay? No, I'm not gay, dude. Jesus. Not gay, not bi, not any of that shit. I'm a straight alpha male. He says, Alaskans don't get pussy, I guess. I mean, royalty, where are you gonna get some Eskimo pussy, bro? They call it Eskimo brothers for a reason. Billy said, it's a dude on the other side of the glory hole. That's why I'm not going to no damn glory holes. Going to a glory hole is diabolical, bro. Going to a glory hole is diabolical, dude. No fucking way. You're risking it all. If you're going to a glory hole, you're risking it all, dude. You're on some crazy shit. He says Scott would be on the mouth side. Oh no, dude. That's crazy, bro. He says royalty's rage baiting Timothy. That's crazy. He says I would on the side with the strap. Oh no. Rob says if he's straight, I'm gay. Damn, Rob, I didn't know you were gay, bro. You don't have to go on. You don't have to come out of the closet on my stream, bro. Damn, dude. Gloryhole.com, probably the most boring. Nah, I don't watch porn. He says, for real, Scott is not, nigga, I'm straighter than straight could ever be. I'm the straightest nigga you ever met, my nigga. The fuck you talking about, boy? He says, Alaskans are the real straight men. These niggas are so straight, they're gay. He says, gaydar goes crazy. Nah. If I were gay, I would be talking with my hands, chat. You all know that all gays talk with their hands. If I were gay, I would be talking with my hands, guys. I'd be like talking with my hands and shit. I don't talk with my hands. Just because a nigga has a thin voice, niggas want to say, oh, this nigga's sus. That's about it. The only thing that you can say is sus about me is my voice is thin. That's about it, my nigga. I always say it. For you, niggas have to have the trifecta for you to call them sus. They need to sound gay. They need to say gay shit. And they need to have gay mannerisms. I don't have gay mannerisms. And I don't say gay shit. Okay, okay. Lately on the stream, I've been joking around and saying some sus shit. But for the most part, I don't say sus shit. That's the trifecta, though. You have to have all three. I don't have all three. He says, Scott, talk with your hands. No, I don't talk with my hands. Like the pastor, you guys saw the clip that the pastor that Drewski was making fun of. And he's like, I was fat, but I wasn't that fat. I don't even know how he did it. When he did like this, he curled his hands in a way, I can't even do it. It was very feminine. I can't even do what he did with his hands. It was very feminine. It was extremely feminine. I gotta find the clip. I'll find the clip for you guys really quick. I'll show you what I mean. He curled his fingers. That's how you know a nigga's gay. And like, cause I can't do that shit. Pastor, what's the name of the pastor? Pastor Mike? Is his name Pastor Mike? No. What is this guy's name? Pastor. Yeah, okay, Pastor Mike Todd.
Here's allowance.
This guy.
Rainbow
I'm talking
lives
about this
matter.
guy.
Eggplant peach.
I remember being that big. Like, I
Look at his hands. Look at his hands.
Rainbow
You
lives
know,
matter.
You saw, wait, go back. You see what I mean? Look how he curls his fingers.
that big. Like, I was big, but I don't remember.
Wait, not there. There. Look. You see his palms? You see how his finger, like he projected his fingers downwards? Very feminine. I can't even do it. I literally can't even do it. Like this guy is in the closet. Just the way he carries himself.
There was a video that came out this past week with a few 100 million views.
Talking with his hands.
Pastor Mike, I don't even know really what happened. I don't remember.
Look at his hairline.
I was big, but I don't remember being that big, but you know.
That's what I'm talking about, though. You see how he has all the mannerisms? He has the voice. He has the sus body language. And I guarantee he probably says sus stuff behind closed doors. If a nigga has all three, that's when I say, yo, we don't need to catch him in the act. But if you only have one of the three things, then you can't say a nigga's gay. He says, looks like you with hair. No, but his shit was more clean cut. And also, it doesn't look like me. He doesn't look like me. That's a reach. That's a reach, Rob. That's a fucking reach. He says, who's this fruit cup? It's a pastor, royalty. It was the pastor that Drewski was making fun of. He says, he has your old haircut. He does, but he wasn't rocking it the same way I was rocking it. When I rocked it, I had aura. When he rocked it, he was sus. He says, kind of looks like you, though. He does not look like me, bro. He says, he has your hair and your glasses. Oh, my goodness. He doesn't look like me. When I was rocking that shit, I was rocking it with aura. When he was rocking it gay. Rob says, for a straight man, you sure are checking him out hard. Rob, I was just analyzing the body language, bro. He says, you know all the signs. Because I study human beings, Rob. That's why. I study human beings, dude. All I know is, and you guys, you know, I'm not making this up from now. I've been saying this for a while. You don't need to catch them in the act to know that they're sus. He says, get that back ready tonight. Oh my God. Why she have to, also, why is she donating? Baby, when you donate, it's basically, you might as well just give me the money in cash. She donated $2, but I only got $1 from that, essentially. I mean, I guess it helps. No, you know what? Keep on doing it. It's fine. Because it helps the algorithm, at least. He says, Isabel hasn't been back since the stream when Unc stood up. Wait, when did I stood up at that little hole in his drawers? Shake my head. I miss her. Actually, I don't know where Isabel is, but what hole in my drawers? I had a hole in my drawers. Bailey said, it's your allowance. Oh my God, not my allowance. You give me allowances like it's 1945. What am I going to buy with $2? He says, Scott got like a 3 beards. What's a 3 beard mean? He says, it's okay, Scott. 2026, we support you no matter what. Oh my God. Lamau, Scott, be grateful. Yo, Ross Meadows, thank you for joining the stream. He says, we have my respect for you, Scott. Thank you, Ross. He says, Scott complains even when getting money. I mean, that's my niche. My niche is complaining, Rob. What else am I good at, bro? He says, she's being his biggest fan and uncomplaining. Lamau, don't support me. Bailey says, I bought you food. Shush. I mean, she did low-key buy me food today. He says, is Isabel on Discord? We need to find her. No, she's not on Discord. She must just be having family issues, man. Remember that she has a kid? And her husband has epilepsy or something. She's probably just having family issues. This nigga David Fish is talking crazy. He says Scott stood up and had a small hole in his drawers and a little doo-doo smudge, and she hasn't been back. Not the doo-doo smudge. Timothy says she has a kid and a husband. He said that, bro. He says, dog, I thought she was 18. Oh no. Timothy been lurking in the chat trying to get with Isabel this whole time. He trying to get with her this whole time. He says, complaining and making excuses are your only talents. Bro, I mean, shit. Rob might be onto something. Can that be a niche? I should make that into a niche, Rob. I should just start making a bunch of videos just complaining. My niche is complaining. Scott Leonard, a professional complainer. Isabel, like in her 30s. She's in her 30s? I don't know, royalty. I always thought she was like maybe between 25 and 30. But I don't think she's old. He says, just go full femboy or something. Bro, is being a femboy a niche? You know, I posted on Reddit, small YouTubers asking them what they thought of my channel. And a bunch of people said the same thing. They said, I need to find a niche. And I'm like, well, what can I find? My niche is myself. He says, nah, Scott, don't play me like that. You are the one getting back shots with your own sperms. Oh, bro, not with my own sperms. That's crazy, dude. Can you imagine you give you fucking accidentally ejaculate in some water and then it gets in your mouth and then you go to the dentist and then they put the black light in your mouth and they see that shit? That would be embarrassing as fuck, dude. That'd be embarrassing as fuck, chat. Jesus. Like them hoes that be sucking dick and then going to the dentist. That's crazy. Daffy says, you know you want to. He says, it's called being a housewife. I ain't no damn housewife. He says, that's nasty. Nasty work, the King's Lounge. I know, bro. I know. He says, are you dead ass, Scott? Are we dead ass? I'm just saying, bro. I'm just throwing out hypotheticals here, guys. I'm just throwing out hypotheticals. That's some diabolical shit, bro. He says, definitely happened to you before. Nah. Not the dentist appointment. He says, Isabel low-key thick too. Y'all playing games. Yo, David Fish is like the King Gooner, bro. Gooner final boss. This nigga went after Jen. He went after the other Jen. He went after Isabel. He went after Bailey. He went after... Who was the other girl who used to watch the stream? He says, that story sounded way too real. Nah, that story... Guys, come on, dude. I got that shit from a rap song. What I was gonna say is, a few days ago when I told you guys the story of the poopy toilet, the poopy toothbrush, I told you the story with no emotions, man. I need to retell that story one day, chat, with the emotions. I was in a bad mood that day, that's why. So I told the story half-assed. He says, the poopy toothbrush. Timothy, you have not heard the story of the poopy toothbrush? He says, Saucy Santana is Scott's favorite rapper. I don't even know who that is. Oh, Timothy hasn't heard the story of the poopy toothbrush? Okay, this might be my opportunity to tell the story again with the right emotions. Tell the story in a coherent manner. It's cohesive. So when I was a teenager, Timothy, I had a cousin that I hated. We literally hated each other, right? And we wanted to kill each other. We wanted to kill each other. So for a time period, my mom went to the interior of the country. We left the city. We went to my grandma's house for maybe like 6 months. And the house that my grandma lived in had a few people in it, my aunts and one of my cousins, right? And he was a big boy. He was a big boy. He was built like, let me think who he was built like Phantom, right? My cousin was big. He was built like Phantom. And y'all know me, bro. I was scrawny like a little rat. We were on some Rimp and Stimpy type bullshit. Some Timon and Pumbaa bullshit, chat. I was skinny. I was Timon and this nigga was Pumbaa. I was Rin and he was Stimpy, right? And my grandmother used to cook these fucking Johnny cakes, right? And she used to sell them for the people on the island. And she used to tell us every single night when she cooked this shit, don't touch my Johnny cakes. Those are for the customers. Don't touch my Johnny cakes. And I would be like, yo, I'm respectable, right? I'd be like, I'm not going to touch that shit. I'm going to respect my grandma, right? But my cousin, he was always wilding. This nigga was always doing extra, chat. Stealing, being rebellious, fucking skipping school, doing all this crazy bullshit, right? So one day I caught him in the act stealing the fucking Johnny cakes. And I told my grandma, and my grandma got so fucking mad, she kicked him out of the house for the whole day, right? She kicked him out of the house for the whole day. Nigga had to go scramble. He was scraping and scrambling for his fucking lunch, dinner, all that shit, roaming the streets. Had to go to his friend's house and shit, spend the day over there to watch TV type shit because he couldn't come back in the house, right? He was big mad. So then the afternoon comes. He says, Scott snitch. Bro, you know I'm gonna snitch. I'm snitching on everybody in this bitch, Amid. I'm snitching on everybody in this bitch. So then the afternoon comes around, right? And we're all cooking our like little afternoon meal. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna cook some plantains, right? So I cook my fucking plantains. I'm cooking my plantains. They're frying. I take them out. I put them in the plate. I'm gonna go get my eggs and my fucking bacon and my sausage and shit to go fry that shit up. My plantains are sitting on the counter. I turn around, go get the sausages from the back where they were in the cooler. And when I come back to my plantains, I'm looking at them and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on, bro? And mind you, I'm starving, chat. My fucking stomach is hitting my back. I'm starving like a motherfucker, starving like a Marvin. But I look at the plate and I see that there's salt all over my plantains, right? But the salt is looking weird. The salt is looking weird. Like normal salt, the grains are fine. You guys know what salt looks like, chat. Everybody here knows what salt looks like. The grains of salt are fine. But for some reason, the salt on my plantains are looking big as fuck. They're looking like sea salt. And I'm like, something ain't right. Something ain't right with this shit. I'm looking at this shit sideways like, yo, something ain't right with this shit. Meanwhile, my stomach is growling. My shit is scraping the back of my fucking stomach. I'm starving like a fucking Marvin, chat. But I'm like, something ain't right with this. So I grab the plate, right? I look around. I look to my left. I look to my right. I see my dumbass cousin, Aisha, sitting on the sofa. And I say, okay, that's subject number one. I'm like, Aisha, taste these plantains. Are they good? This dumb bitch looks at me in my face. You know, she's probably starving too. We're all living in Panama in the sweltering sun, Central America, living like fucking Ethiopians. Everybody in that bitch is starving. So she grabs that shit, stuffs it in her, and she stuffs it in her mouth. She's like, what'd you do to this? It tastes disgusting. And I look at her and I'm like, bet, okay, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. You want to prank me? You want to poison me? This motherfucker put Epsom salt all over my plantains, right? The laxative. Epsom salt is a laxative. He put it all over my plantains. So then I tell my grandma, yo, Chalong put Epsom salt on my plantains. Everybody in the house gets big mad. His mom comes out. She beats the shit out of him. Everybody's yelling at him. They chase him away, right? They chase him away for the rest of the day. They don't let him back into the house until like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. So he comes back in. He's big mad, but everything's cooled down now, right? Everything's cooled down now. So he's come back. Baby, you're going to disrupt my story. I'm finally telling the story the right way, and you're going to sit here to disrupt it. Why? I'm trying to tell the story. I finally got the story down. I'm telling them with emotion. So he finally comes back in the house, right? Baby, I just want to tell the story. I told you yesterday, I literally went on a rant. I said I told the story and I sucked at telling it. I'm finally telling the story properly. And you're like, you're going to take my fucking, the fucking inspiration away. So he comes back in the house and everything's calmed down, right? Everything's calmed down. And you guys know me by now, chat. I'm the kind of guy who's going to study the environment to get my come up, right? I'm going to study my environment to get the come up. I'm not going to let this shit go. I'm not letting this shit go. Rob says, I'm knocked out of the story now. Oh my God, see? I'm not trying to be mean or yell at you, baby. It's just I really wanted to tell this story with the right emotions, with detail. And that was just not the right moment to interrupt me. And you know I wanted to tell a story. I told you, I was taking a shower yesterday. I told you that I felt bad that I told the story half-assed. So anyways, guys, so I'm the kind of guy who, if somebody does something to me, I'm going to lock in, right? Because remember that when he ruined my plantains, I forgot to mention to you guys, there was no more plantains in the house. Those were the last plantains we had. So I ended up throwing away my dinner and I didn't eat anything. I went to bed hungry, right? I went to bed hungry. So I'm like, okay, bet. I got this nigga in trouble, but that's not enough. I got to go all the way. So I studied him for like 2 days, pinpointing his weaknesses like a fucking anime supervillain. Maybe this is when the Scott Leonard villain arc started, right? I sat there and I studied this nigga like a supervillain. And I saw that every day in the morning, this motherfucker took his toothbrush out of a secret compartment in the kitchen. Between the refrigerator and the wall, there was a tiny gap, and he had like a piece of wood that would cover it. And every morning he would move the piece of wood and take his toothbrush out. So you know what I did? I waited until he fell asleep. I waited until he fell asleep, right? I waited until he fell asleep just to make sure that he had his toothbrush in the right spot. And that morning, I took a diabolical dump. A diabolical dump. He says, why did he hide his toothbrush? I don't know. He was paranoid. That's a good question, Daffy. Nigga was paranoid. But to be honest, I hide my toothbrush too. I've always hid my toothbrush. I don't hide it now because I live here. But when I lived with my parent, when I lived in other, I've always hid my toothbrush too. Toothbrush is a man's weakness, bro. You can't have your toothbrush out in the open. So I woke up that morning and I took a giant shit, Timothy. I took a giant shit on his toothbrush. And then I grabbed the toothbrush and I scrubbed the bowl of the toilet and I rinsed it off in the water and I put it back in his secret thing. But that wasn't enough for me. That was only the beginning. That was only the beginning. After I put the toothbrush back in its secret hiding compartment, I pretended to sleep and I watched him. I made sure to watch him get up, get his toothbrush, and go brush his teeth. And when he went to brush his teeth, I couldn't hold it in, bro. I couldn't hold it in. I jumped up and I ran outside and I ran down the street laughing. And I just stayed outside for like 10 minutes laughing. And I don't know if this makes me an evil person. Maybe this makes me a piece of shit, evil, demonic person. But for some reason, that shit gave me so much joy. It gave me so much fucking joy, so much satisfaction to see his downfall. I was like, got him.
Got him. Got him.
Just like how you guys see me get in Arc Raiders, where I do some villainous act to somebody and then I'm laughing and I get my rocks off. The same thing happened in this situation. And that was when I was a teenager. I was probably like 15, maybe 16. I ran down the street. I was just laughing, bro. The joy it gave me, the satisfaction to see this nigga scrub his teeth with that Dookie toilet toothbrush. The Dookie toilet toothbrush, chat. The satisfaction it gave me to see him fucking rubbing his teeth with shit. Greatest joy of my life. One of the top 5 moments of my life, chat. No cap. No cap. No cap. It wasn't about the plantains, Amen. It was about the disrespect. It was about the disrespect, bro. And then I didn't tell him anything for like 4 years. When I told this nigga that story, we were already adults. And he didn't believe me. He's like, no, that's a lie. I'm like, okay, buddy, if you say so. I mean, you saying it's a lie ain't gonna fucking take away what happened. If you think it was a lie and that didn't happen, that's on you. But I know what I saw, my nigga. Homie didn't want to believe me. He coped. I don't remember why I told him. I don't remember why I told him. I think he tried to do something to me. And I caught him and I was like, nigga, you ain't gonna ever do nothing to me. And by the way, 4 years ago, I did this to you. But at that point, we were already friends. You know, that's normal, man. When you're a kid, when you're a teenager, you have like, rivalries and shit. But usually, from what I've seen, when you're a kid, most of your enemies become your best friends as you grow up. I had so many people that I hated when I was a kid. And then when I became an adult, they were my friends. I guess it's a trauma bonding, right? Trauma bonding. The other thing I learned as a young adult is that when you're a kid, right? When you're like 11, 12, 13, 14, the girls that are like 9 years old, 10 years old, you can't be assholes to them, bro. You can't be assholes to them. I fumbled so many times because when I was like 11, 12, 13, the kids that were kids, like, you know, kids, actual kids, I would treat them so fucked up. And then when we all became teenagers and adults, those same girls were bad. And I was like, damn, let me holla at Adriana. And Adriana would be like, nigga, you bullied me when I was a kid. And I'd be like, fuck. I'd be like, damn. So if I have a son, when I have a son, I'm gonna have to tell my son that shit. Don't bully any fucking girls. Don't bully any of them, bro. Don't bully. When I'm gonna tell my teenage son, don't bully any of the girls that you don't like in middle school or high school or any grade. Because when you become an adult, you're gonna look back and be like, yo, I wanna crack that one. And she's gonna be like, nigga, you were my bully. He says, I never bullied anyone, Lamau. I was a chill guy. Well, I did. I was a dirtbag. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream. Guys. Tonight I didn't want to stay on too long. I'm kind of tired. We've been on for an hour. I just wanted to get that story out of the way. Amos says, what the fuck, bro? He says, later, bro. Daffy, did the story, was the story better this time? He says, W story in stream, Scott. I love this stream, man. Thanks, bro. Was the story better? You know what? There's one quick thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, but I don't know if I should talk about it or not. There was a situation with Eddie from Kick. You see, I don't know if I should talk about it because you guys aren't streamers or content creators, so why would you guys care? He says, damn, that was quick. Remember I gave you guys a freebie yesterday, Dragonite. I gave you guys a freebie yesterday, pause. So this was a quickie, pause. Well, Eddie from Kick came out and they said that they weren't going to ban the view botters. I have the clip saved. It's 3 minutes long. I can play a little bit of it. They said that if they banned the view botters, they'd end up banning everybody on the platform, essentially.
Level of professionalism, that same level of modern product design, that same level of user experience to Kick. And that's really important. It is. It's really important.
This was stupid.
So this one's coming from you, okay? Is Kick still banning 100 streamers a week from abusing KPP? So I think a while back we just mentioned that.
So we've thus far removed, I'd say probably about 1,500 people from KPP for botting and abusing it. You know, the reality is on the back of those bans, we did see like a big drop off in people like trying to abuse the system. So, you know, we're going to continue that initiative. We are still removing probably about 10 to 20 people a week. Again, we're mainly focusing on the serial abusers. I think, you know, we talk about this very openly, right? You know, I think that's the
This is stupid.
We're very transparent. We're very open. You know, we know that in live streaming, there is a lot of view botting. That's the reality. If we banned every single person who view botted from the KPP program, the reality is there wouldn't be many people left. That's the reality. It's the harsh reality. It's not just a problem isolated to Kick. It's a problem with all social media. All social media has a botting problem.
This is dumb. Everything he said in that little phrase doesn't make any sense. He said that if they start banning bot abusers, that they'd have to ban everybody. And it's like, dude, that's a cope, bro. Ban those fuckers. Ban those fuckers, and the people that aren't view botting will step up. And also, he said serial abusers. There's no such thing as serial abusers. Anybody who view bots once is going to view bot forever. Or at least until they have a bunch of people. Like, it's just nonsense. He says Twitch and Kick are allowing nonsense. Exactly. They're cheaters, bro. But like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it, guys. You guys, I got to stop talking about content creation with you guys. Because I don't think anybody in my chat really wants to be a content creator. So it gives for bad segments. That's why I said, let me not even bring it up. Because it's not good. It's not good content for my audience. But do you want to be a streamer, Dragonite? Because I feel like if I'm going to talk about streaming shit to you guys, it's boring for most of you. Most of the people don't give a fuck about it. Most people don't give a fuck about it. And I want to keep this good vibes. So from now on, we're going to do what we're doing tonight. We're just going to vibe chat. Next time we do, on my next stream, we're going to talk about the movies. We're going to talk about my favorite movies, the top 5. You know, the way we ended the stream last night where we were talking about the movies, I took a screenshot of it. We're going to go into detail about the movies that I like, the top 5. And then we're just going to talk with, you know, everybody's going to talk and we're just going to see what movies people vibe with. What are the best movies of all time? And we'll do a little vote. We might put together a little ranking, you know, maybe do one of those fucking tier lists, movie tier lists, and see where it ends. Yeah, next stream is on Monday. I'm not streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna take a break. I'm probably gonna make some clips out of. I don't know if I have anything from tonight. The story, the shit story. I think I am gonna clip that one from tonight because tonight I told the story with more detail, right? I think the problem with me when I try to tell stories is I don't go slow. Sometimes you need to go slow. Sometimes you need to go slow. And if you go slow, you're able to tell the story better than if you're rushing, if you're talking super duper fast. So if you didn't notice, tonight and last night, I've been talking at this pace I'm talking at right now. He says, you are slow. I've been talking at this pace that I'm talking at right now. And I don't know if this is super too slow. Am I talking slower than low tier God? Sometimes you got to slow it down though, bro. He says normal. He says low tier gay. Oh my God. He says, if you talk that slow, I would have yelled at you already. Rob says, you're weird. Wait, why am I weird, Rob? What am I doing that's weird? I just realized that I was talking too fast, bro. If I talk too fast, I start to lose my breath. My voice gets thin. I start to stutter. I don't tell the story in detail. It's like I'm rushing. It's like, yo, I'm on stream for 2 hours most of the time, 3 hours. Why am I rushing? Why am I rushing? Slow that shit down. Let's go slow-mo with it. Slow that shit down. Being on edge. Then I start to get anxiety and shit. Like a fucking crackhead. Who gets anxiety over a stream? He says, it's not the speed, it's what you have to say. But Rob, when I'm talking fast, the stuff I have to say doesn't come out right either. Because I'm talking so fast that I'm not breathing. And then I get anxiety. My brain is not getting oxygen. I start to stutter. And I also leave out all the details. Because last night I told that same story with no details. I told that shit like a list. I woke up. I saw Johnny Cake. I got my cousin in trouble. He choked me. He threw Epsom salt on my food. I looked at his toothbrush. I pooped on it. He brushed his teeth. I laughed. Like, nobody wants to hear a story that's just bullet points. This nigga's talking in bullet points. So I got to slow it down and give you guys the details, man. People want to know the emotions, bro. They don't want to just know the facts. Telling them the facts, like telling them what happened as a list. I did this, then I did that, then I did this, then I did that, then I did this, then I did that, and then I concluded with this. Nobody wants to hear that. People want to know how you felt. They don't want the recipe. They want the cake. And I'm going to give them the cake. I'm going to give them the whole cake. I'm going to throw that shit back on them. Pause. I don't mean it like that, chat. I didn't mean it like that. How do you feel about The Dark Knight? The Dark Knight is with the Keith Ledger Joker. Rob says, can you overthink more, please? Oh, Rob, I'm cooked. I'm actually cooked. Yeah, The Dark Knight, the one with Keith Ledger, was a good movie. But we'll talk about it on Monday, Daffy. On Monday, I'm going to go full deep diving into the 5 movies that I mentioned yesterday. And then you guys can mention some movies and we'll talk about them. I think it will be a good stream. He says Heath, not Keith. Keith, Heath. Same shit, bro. Well, who names their child Heath? It's Heath Ledger? Who names their fucking child Heath? If your parents named you Heath, you deserve to get your fucking name mispronounced. It's Keith, Chief Keith. Yeah. You deserve to get your name butchered. Keith. What a dumb fucking name. You can Heath my balls. How about that? Heath this long, nigga. How about that? With that dumb name, Heath. He says, who names their kid Quentin? You know that nigga got bullied, bro. Quentin. Come over here, Quentin. Quentin, you're not allowed to do that. Stop that, Quentin. He says Scott knows him from watching Brokeback Mountain. Nah, I've never watched that movie in my life. He says, yo, Scott, I dare you to go into Omizi live again. When is he going to be live? Omizi annoys me, bro. Omizi annoys me because he's always trying to act like he's a good guy. Omizi thinks he's him, bro.
Stay
But
strapped.
we know what you're thinking.
Oh, he's live right now.
Exactly.
Organize.
Our numbers grow daily. All right. I think that is there anything else on this Don Lemon thing? We actually I will show this one thing, which is what he was like.
Maybe another night.
It's just footage of him during the thing, and people are arguing that this is participation. And in my view, I'm like, no, I agree. He was not.
They're talking about the fucking Don Lemon getting arrested for protesting ICE. Fuck that Don Lemon bullshit, bro. On another night, Dragonite, I would do it, but not tonight, bro. Not tonight. Tonight, I'm ending. I'm gonna drop the sound. I'll catch you guys on Monday, chat.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're going to see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
Everybody stay safe. Thank you guys for sticking around. Hope you guys enjoyed this short quickie. And I'll catch you guys Monday, chat. Also, if I engage Omizi and those people, I don't want to get banned. So, I gotta, walk that line where I can troll them, but not troll them too far because I don't want to get them in trouble. Oh my guys, just have fun taking the strap unk. Bro. I do feel kind of bad for yelling at Bailey, but I was just frustrated because I told her I wanted to tell that story again because I butchered it the first time. So I don't want to be distracted when I'm telling a story because then it throws my whole mood off. Anyways, guys, I'm ending. Everybody stay safe. It's your boy Scott Leonard, your favorite streamer's favorite streamer. The Black Asmongold. The biggest hater. The biggest pocket watcher. And the voice and news outlet of the chronically unemployed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. I'll catch y'all later, man. I'm out. Peace.